चरणन में सुख पाऊं, बाबा चरणन में सुख पाऊं। सब कुछ तुम में ही धरा है, सब कुछ तुम में ही भरा है। और कहाँ मैं जाऊं, और कहाँ मैं जाऊं, चरणन में सुख पाऊं, बाबा चरणन में सुख पाऊं। We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, O lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. How can we miss Meher in form? We see Meher in your form, because Meher resides in the lover's heart forever, because Meher resides in the lover's heart forever. We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, O lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. We are happy to see you all. Jai Baba Jai, Baba say all. Sing together and remember sacred name of Meher. Sing together and remember sacred name of Meher. We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, O lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. Why there should be barriers, we Easterners, you Westerners, let us end this. God alone is real, rest unfair. Let us end this. God alone is real, rest unfair. We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, O lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba.
said, whatsoever will happen soon. Sure, sure, let anyone say anything, we do not have fear. Let anyone say anything, we do not have fear.
We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, all lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. Come let us live his messages, we should not have only speeches. No ism than humanism, we brothers and sisters. No ism than humanism, we brothers and sisters. We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, all lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba.
We love Meher as he is loved, not because what he declared. We will only hold his daman singing Meher, Meher. We will only hold his daman singing Meher, Meher.
We welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, we welcome you, all lovers of Meher. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. How do you do, how are you, please tell us your welfare. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba.
Jai Baba, how wonderful to hear of you having the young adults, Sahavas. Oh, that is so good. We send a loving Jai Baba to each and every participant. It means so much. It's like hearing of the youth Sahavas. Of course, the young adults, quite a few maybe, we know them.
Yeah.
We know them. Anyway, if we do, we add another loving Jai Baba. Yeah. You know, and what a wonderful theme you have for the gathering, the Sahavas.
Yeah, surrender.
Surrendering to Meher Baba. How wonderful. And if I can be personal, it reminds me of my own, the theme that I have for myself, which I often sort of think of. Starve the mind and feed the heart. And it's meant so much to me over the years. Instead of getting all caught up in the agitation of the mind, the problems, the desires, the resentments, this and that and so on, instead of putting it aside and saying, let me think of Baba. Let me remember Baba and take his name. Take his name. And what it has meant for me over the years. So, surrendering to Meherabad is the same sort of theme. Instead of getting caught up in the mind, turn to Baba. And which I'm saying to myself,
No.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just sort of saying how much it means to me. Anyway, well, we're certainly with you.
Yeah.
And we trust that by Baba's grace, within his love, that it be a wonderful Sahavas for each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. This surrendering goes on every day, even at our age. So, but it's all of us have our journeys, but Baba, taking Baba, keeping him close to you, will keep that smile in your heart and on your face. Jai Baba.
This world is filled with fire and fury. Storms of ages roar. But there's a mystery behind the story the heart cannot ignore. My world's been broken by you, and I've gone under. What else can I do? Surrender. There was once a field of my own planting, ready to be reaped. But now that garden so enchanting has become ashes at your feet. Should I be running from you? I have no answers. What else can I do? Surrender. I must do my best to lay it down and let my Father take over. I must do my best to lay it down, and let my Father take over. If the hopes and schemes of my imagination had all come true, would I be even one step closer to the sight of you? You tear down the walls around you, so truth can be heard. What else can I do? Surrender. I must do my best to lay it down, and let my Father take over. I must do my best to lay it down, and let my Father take over. And He comes to turn the heat up higher, though the journey may be far. We have the chance to dance in the fire of the altar. You take the pain of the world upon you for just one word. What else can I do? Surrender. I must do my best to lay it down, and let my Father take over. I must do my best to lay it down, and let my Father take over. You take the pain of the world upon you for just one word. What else can I do? Surrender.
Dominance and submission. How do the sun, moon, and earth agree to eclipse each other with such deep respect? Measuring space and time, dark and light, natural and creative. Finite, simple, season after season in perfect balance. Resistance and surrender.
I've been asked to talk about what I think about when Baba says surrender. What does he mean by surrender to him? Some years ago, I mean, any Baba lover is aware of the Baba's statements about love, obedience, and surrender. And how he says, obedience is greater than love, and surrender is greater than obedience. And so thinking about that at one time, it occurred to me that the meaning of surrender has to do with not necessarily a willing act. So it occurred to me that perhaps Baba's work is to maneuver me over and over again into the position where I surrender, where he wins, where I finally give up and give it to him. That it's not something that I can beatifically, saintly just say, oh, I surrender to you, my Lord. He gets me up against the wall. He has the blade of my karma at my throat. And I finally say, I surrender, Baba. It's for you. When I have no alternative. Because the ego is so tricky and so invested in survival. I don't think the ego would surrender without his effort to make it surrender, without him doing the work for me with my ego to get me into the position where I could surrender. I don't think it would happen without that. And it seems it's kind of the vehicle by which he does that, the weapon. In a lot of Persian poetry, the thing that slays you is his beauty. It's the sword. His beauty is the thing that slays you. And they talk about that image. They'd also talk about his love, but mostly the beauty of the avatar, particularly the avatar, is what slays you. So he seduces you with his beauty, and then all this happens about obedience and the struggle of trying to obey, which isn't. I don't know of anyone who doesn't find trying to be obedient a struggle. It seems to be a struggle for anyone, really. You do your best, and then you beg forgiveness. But that final element of surrender, he gets you in that position, that struggling with obedience, maneuvers you, puts you up against the wall, nails you down, and then you say, I surrender. So surrenderance for myself, when I first came to Baba, that kind of exuberance, the discovery that something real and true really exists, that there is meaning. There is meaning in existence. It is not meaningless. There's an exuberance that accompanies that initially, and in that you think, yes, surrender, I'll obey and I'll surrender, and it all seems so possible. And then as you're with him, you realize your limitations based upon who you are. And that was when, and I also in that, my experience with Baba is he reveals himself, his love for you more and more all the time. You begin to be more and more aware of how he loves you. And in that love, you begin to trust him more and more. And you begin to feel more and more comfortable in the relationship with him, the companionship and relationship with him. And for me, in that, was when I thought, surrender isn't something I can really think about. I don't think it's something he has to bring to me. It's not for me to find. It's for him to give me the opportunity, get me up against the wall, have the blade at my throat, and I'll surrender. So that's that. His emphasis on trying to get along, on harmony, means that you're willing to surrender your own desires and your own ideas and your own sense of what is right or wrong or what is good or bad. In many, many situations, those opportunities come along all the time. But that's not the surrender to him. The surrender to him is something so far out of my understanding that really I am resigned to him bringing me to that surrender. He will put me in that position. I trust him. I trust. Because he loves me, I trust that he will bring me to that. At the time in Boulder, Colorado, at the University of Colorado, I used to smoke 40 cigarettes a day. Unfiltered cigarettes. I smoked like Philip Morris Commanders. Like everything else, I'm not a person who understands moderation very well. I'm sort of much more comfortable in extremes. So I was 40 cigarettes a day. And the habit was strong, to say the least. So one morning I get up, I have no money that day. I've run out of money. I'm broke, like a college student. I don't have any money, and I don't have any cigarettes. So I can't buy any cigarettes. So that means going to class, I'm going to be bumming cigarettes off of other people all day long because I can't help myself, which is humiliating in itself. So the first class, I bum a cigarette, and it's some awful menthol thing. I think a Raleigh menthol cigarette. Horrible, but had to have it. Get out of that class, walking from one class to another. I bum another cigarette. On my way to the next class, get in the next class, I'm thinking, all the time I'm thinking how much I want cigarettes, because I don't have them. It's even more intense. So I bum about 3 in the morning before I get to this final class. I sit down in this class in the morning, and I suddenly, Baba opens this little window in my consciousness. Now, it's never happened again. But he let me know this. He gave me this experience to understand this. And I said, look how much time I spend in my day wanting a cigarette. Wanting, not smoking, wanting a cigarette. And I thought, okay, Baba, I'm giving you the remembrance of you to all of the time I give to wanting a cigarette. That is now yours. I want you, I'm going to want you instead of a cigarette. And in that moment, he showed me the difference in the desire and the action. And he gave me the opportunity where I did give up the desire. I never wanted a cigarette again. I was cold turkey. I didn't ever have another cigarette. It was over because the desire was gone. So the action was no problem. Didn't happen. Now with coffee, again, where I'm drinking 20 cups of black coffee every day and out of kind of insane, a raging maniac doing 101 things at once. And also drinking coffee that I couldn't afford, that was very, very expensive, and I just couldn't possibly have anything but that. Something called Blue Mountain Jamaican. And I realized I developed psoriasis. And because I had been involved with a close friend of mine and his sister who had gotten psoriasis, and we'd found a cure for her through another friend of mine, looked up some stuff about diet control that had been given by Edgar Casey before. And we found a chiropractor that used some of those formulas, used those ideas, and the girl went on this program, which the main thing was you had to give up coffee, you had to give up beef and pork, you could have chicken or lamb in terms of flesh, nothing sweeter than a peach, and you drank a cup of mullein tea and a cup of saffron tea every day. And this woman had had terrible psoriasis. It covered more than 90% of her body. She was quite beautiful and blonde and was an actress, and it was devastating. And she did this for 1 month, and it was 50% gone. So I knew what to do. So I had to give up coffee. And so with coffee, it was all about just giving up I couldn't get rid of the desire. So I got into drinking strong tea instead. But I did get rid of the coffee finally. Baba wouldn't take it. It wasn't that easy. No, you got to do it this time. Anyway, that was the difference. But he did that. So I have this concrete experience of the difference in a desire and an action, which has been wonderful to know.
पीत बसन केसरिया के रंग कर बंसी श्री कृष्ण सुहाए लचक चलत चंचल चपल चाल सांवरी सूरत मन ही लुभाए सांवरी सूरत मन ही लुभाए सांवरी सूरत मन ही लुभाए धुंग धुंग राम दिग दिग तक धरी श्री कृष्ण निर्धत धुंग धुंग राम दिग दिग तक धरी संग राधे गोपी उमंग भरी भरी लेत पलटा पग धरी संग राधे गोपी उमंग भरी भरी लेत पलटा पग धरी पग धरी पग धरी श्री कृष्ण निर्धत तुंग 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 देता कर देता तुंग तक देता तकता न देता जिनक तक तक न देता 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 ताज तक 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 न देता 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 ताज तक 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 न दे कान दे कान दे कान दा कुंडल श्रवण माथे तिलक कुंडल श्रवण माथे तिलक पग परत बाजत पैंजनी नूपुर झनक झन झन करत नूपुर झनक झन झन करत बाजी मधुर धुन बांसुरी बाजी मधुर धुन बांसुरी 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 श्री कृष्ण निर्धत तुंग 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 तुंग
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। उठी लहर आनंद प्रेम की, उजला जीवन सारा, टूट गए बंधन सुख दुख के, दूर हुआ बियारा। करुणा घन प्रभु में हर की हो, जीवन में उजियारा। मधुसूदन हो सफल ये जीवन, शरण गहो अवतार। मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। बिसरा सारा आप पर आया, बिसरा सारा आप पर आया। जब से मेहर ने अपनाया, जब से मेहर ने अपनाया। जन्म जन्म का बोझ हटाया, जन्म जन्म का बोझ हटाया। भाग लगी रे जागी, जागी रे मोहे भाग लगी रे जागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। मिट गई मन से आश निराशा, मिट गई मन से आश निराशा। चंचल सुख की सब अभिलाषा, चंचल सुख की सब अभिलाषा। मेहर कर गयो हृदय निवासा, मेहर कर गयो हृदय निवासा। नाम की रट है लागी, लागी रे मोहे नाम की रट है लागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। जिस कारण कई जन्म गवाए, जिस कारण कई जन्म गवाए। माया के बंधन अपनाए, माया के बंधन अपनाए। मधुसूदन अब छूटी फैलाए, मधुसूदन अब छूटी फैलाए। मेहर की लो लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की लो लागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी। लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोहे मेहर की धुन है लागी। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। सतरंगी है आज आसमां, सतरंगी है आज आसमां, धरती संग नदियाँ भी, धरती संग नदियाँ भी, सतरंगी है आज आसमां, सतरंगी है आज आसमां, धरती संग नदियाँ भी, सतरंगी है आज आसमां, धरती संग नदियाँ भी। नाश विनाश की इस नगरी में पर कोरा मन अब भी, नाश विनाश की इस नगरी में पर कोरा मन अब भी, पर कोरा मन अब भी। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा। नाश विनाश में उलझे हैं सबको भी समझ न पाए, नाश विनाश में उलझे हैं सबको भी समझ न पाए। मोह माया से छलने सबको ऐसी सीख सिखाए, मोह माया से छलने सबको ऐसी सीख सिखाए। छल और कपट जैसे इन सबके मन में खूब है भरा, छल और कपट जैसे इन सबके मन में खूब है भरा। आओ आओ तुम मोहब्बतों में है, आओ आओ तुम मोहब्बतों में है, सबके मन में समाओ, सबके मन में समाओ। प्रेम की ज्योत जलाओ, प्रेम की ज्योत जलाओ। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा। अपना पराया करती है सब, प्रेम कहाँ पहचाने। अहंकार में अपनी डूबी ऐसी दुनिया जाने। अपना पराया करते है सब, प्रेम कहाँ पहचाने। अहंकार में अपनी डूबी ऐसी दुनिया जाने। खुद को समझते सबसे परे और दूसरों से कर घृणा, खुद को समझते सबसे परे और दूसरों से कर घृणा। ये कैसी दुविधा है मेहर, ये कैसी दुविधा है मेहर। हम अपना किसे माने, हम अपना किसे माने। क्या सच्चाई पहचाने, क्या सच्चाई पहचाने। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा।
से लगते और कल बदले लगते हैं। आज ये अपने से लगते और कल बदले लगते हैं। हमें कुछ कहते हैं दूसरों को अलग कह देते, हमें कुछ कहते हैं दूसरों को अलग कह देते। मतलब का जब काम है होता भाई तुम्हें ये बनाए, मतलब का जब काम है होता भाई तुम्हें ये पुकारे। प्रातः काल की बात है तो प्रातः काल की बात है, अब सच्चाई नानी, सच्चाई नानी। झूठी दुनिया है निभानी, झूठी दुनिया है निभानी। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा। पाप पुण्य से परे है सब इस कलयुग के जन सारे, पाप पुण्य से परे है सब इस कलयुग के जन सारे। वो तो बस जाने हैं कैसे अपने धन को बढ़ाए, वो तो बस जाने हैं कैसे अपने धन को बढ़ाए। धन के लिए वे अपने रिश्ते नातों को है बुलाते, धन के लिए वे अपने रिश्ते नातों को है बुलाते। प्रेम बाण को अब तो चलाओ, प्रेम बाण को अब तो चलाओ। हो घायल पापी मन, हो घायल पापी मन। महरक्षय मांग रहा, महरक्षय मांग रहा। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा। सतरंगी है आज आसमां, सतरंगी है आज आसमां। धरती संधिया भी सतरंगी है आज आसमां, धरती संधिया भी। नाश विनाश की इस नगरी में पर को रामन अब भी, नाश विनाश की इस नगरी में पर को रामन अब भी, पर को रामन अब भी। मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा, मेहरबा अब तो तू आजा। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai Meher Baba. My name is Caran St. John, and I'm a resident here at Meherabad. And it's always thrilling, it is again, to be part of the young adult Sahavas. And sometimes I'm very much in the background, but I do appreciate everything that everyone puts into it, including all of you who participate. I've been a resident here in Meherabad for 17 years, and it's given me incredible experience, but it goes way back to when I first came to Baba, and so I'll share that with you. But first, I'll just say, I've been with Baba since 1973. I left everything behind and moved to Meherabad in 2004. It's only now that I realize that Baba had to do a tremendous amount of work with me to make me ready, to prepare me for this surrender to Him. So now to my story of growth and coming into a place of surrender. I knew Him as a 5-year-old child, recognizing His eyes and His gaze, but not outwardly. It was inside my heart. And at that time, to me, He was the Christ. And my first surrender to Him was very small, but it was big to me as a child. I used to kneel at my bedside and say the prayer that's very common in the West. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. I found Him again as a young woman. I was probably 24, 25 years old. Recognizing His love glance in a photograph at Mayer Center in Myrtle Beach in the United States. He held my gaze with His wine of love, and I knew He was the same one. He asked for my surrender, and after putting aside my feelings of being so unworthy, He showed me He had already taken up residence in me ages ago, because He and I were one. So there was no choice. How could anyone refuse Him with that understanding? I found Him always by my side through all kinds of life changes. If I told you all of those, we would go on for hours. But just to say, He always helped when I had doubts, even about Him and who He was, when I despaired, or when I chose the call of my own desires and couldn't resist them. When He beckoned, I followed, often bowed in shame for my willful ways, until I finally arrived at His door on this wind-swept hill in Meherabad in 1976. There He promised to be with me throughout eternity and held my heart in His lovely hands. I trusted Him, and never, ever has He let me down. And so began the work between us of slowly chipping away at my false ego, the false ego self, which we sometimes aren't even aware of. By His craft, He was sometimes gentle, like a potter's hand smoothing a curve from a right angle to reveal a thing of beauty, or like a welder's torch, firing and forging twisted iron into burnished metal of rugged strength. Each life experience led me to surrender deeper to Him until I no longer recognized my old self. Baba's writings I found a lovely practice, a way to give over everything to Him. It's something daily that anyone can do. It frees us from our sin scars, and it brings us closer in a companionship with Him, little by little. So we rely on Him completely. And it goes like this. In the morning, when we awaken, take a few seconds, just a few moments, to entrust all of our thoughts, our feelings, our words, our deeds to Him, totally entrusted, so that He will take them over for the entire time that we're going about our work, our play, whatever else we have to do in our daily lives. Even if you're not aware of it, He will be there at your side, loving and helping you. Then at night, before you go to sleep, you do the same. You entrust everything that has happened, your words, your thoughts, your actions, to Him. And at this time you can review, take time to forgive, and realize that you can appreciate that you were able to give all of this to Him, at least all that you could. And this will help you to break free of all bindings, and especially the feeling of separateness from Him. This practice may not sound like something you really want to do, and maybe not every day, but I encourage you to just try it. If you give it a try, you may find that you really develop some of the closeness with Him. Baba says that any effort we make to come closer to God pleases Him. And it also keeps the momentum going in our spiritual lives. So just focus inwardly for these few moments twice a day. Baba also gives clear direction to be normal and to be honest. He assures us He will be whoever we take Him to be, whether a friend to call on, a companion, or God Himself. So He says, if it touches your heart, follow it. If not, continue to seek with all your heart, and you will find the truth. He doesn't ask anyone to leave their own religion to follow Him. He says He hasn't come to establish a new religion, but to awaken us to the truth within, which has been the same message from all the different avatars, who are really the same one who comes again every 700 to 1400 years. With the message, simple, love God. So the entire universe is sustained by His love. Each one of us is sustained by His love. And this love accepts us as we are. We're not wrong. We're not bad in His sight. Before we even feel a touch of remorse for something we might have done to hurt another, or even ourselves, He is already forgiven. This is the kind of love that we call unconditional. And it's something beyond this world. We're richly blessed, I believe, to be here and to know him now. It is said that during the first 100 years after he drops his body, he remains so close and is so available as though he were physically present. So we have the rare chance to deepen our link to him that once made is never lost. Nothing can be more important than that, in my opinion, in this lifetime. If we give him the chance, he will build in us the moral strength to face our obstacles with unfaltering confidence, devoid of ego. He is pure security at the very core of our being. Surrendering to him means giving in to his love until we become all love. May Baba help us all to become yours more and more each day. Keep us from our judgments and false assertions, good and bad, right and wrong, I, me, my, and mine, which close the door of our hearts to you. We ask you to please make our begging bowl bigger every day, to hold more and more of your divine, precious love. And when that glad day arrives, when we make our most complete final surrender to you, the Master, please accept us fully in union with you, to dwell in the only infinite reality that is our real, true self. Avatar Meherabad Ki Jai. Thank you.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. जय बाबा. तुझी या विणा मिळणार ऐशा मुक्ती सका करू. तुझी या विणा मिळणार ऐशा मुक्ती सका करू. आत्मा जिथे नशनार ऐशा देहात वावरू. आत्मा जिथे नशनार ऐशा देहात वावरू. तुझी या विणा मिळणार ऐशा मुक्तीस का करू. भिनलासा मेरे शाता रुधिरात माझिया. भिनलासा मेरे शाता रुधिरात माझिया. अधरातल्या शब्दातही तो असतोच लीलया. अधरातल्या शब्दातही तो असतोच लीलया. श्वासातल्या गहिऱ्या खाला तव साथ रूबरू. आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा देहात वावरू. आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा देहात वावरू. तुझी विणा मिळणारेशा मुक्ती सका करू. संदर्भया जीवनासैसा मेहरा परी नसे. संदर्भया जीवनासैसा मेहरा परी नसे. गंधर्व जरी गातो तराणी मुक्ती धरी तसे. गंधर्व जरी गातो तराणी मुक्ती धरी तसे. मातीतया मृदगंध दाटे नवपंथ का धरू. आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा देहात वावरू. तुझी विणा मिळणारेशा मुक्ती सका करू. दे मेहरा वरदान ऐसे तव साथ ना तुटे. दे मेहरा वरदान ऐसे तव साथ ना तुटे. ध्यानातनी कामातही तव नाम ना सुटे. ध्यानातनी कामातही तव नाम ना सुटे. दे मुक्ती ऐसी प्रभुवरा तुझलान अंतरू. आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा आत्मा जिथे नशनारेशा देहात वावरू. तुझी विणा मिळणारेशा मुक्ती सका करू. तुझी विणा मिळणारेशा मुक्ती सका करू. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. जय बाबा.
When you came, you brought the autumn rain from a mountain I know only by the name. Evening skies, my journey was in your eyes. You were no stranger to me. To me. Oh my love, don't go to the mountain. far from the mountain peaks, but when you're near, the stream runs so new and clear. Nights live on, turning I find you gone. You say it must be that way, that way. Oh my love, don't go to the mountain. Oh my love, don't go far away. Stay, oh stay. What's that you say? You've never gone away. Oh, I am near. It's you who are far, my dear. There's no stream, no mountain, it's all a dream. When will you let me come near? Come near, oh my love. If there's no mountain, oh my love, why go far away? Stay, oh my love, if there's no mountain, oh my love, why go far away? Stay, stay, won't you stay? Please stay. Meher, 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 stay.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। ఎవరాదిమానవుడో ఎవరాది పురుషుడో ఎవరు సర్వోన్నతుడో ఆ దివ్య ప్రియతముని ఆ ప్రేమ సుందరుడు మెహర్ Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai Baba, and greetings from France to all of you young adults who love Baba. Raki asked me to share my thoughts about surrender. And to be quite frank with you, for many years I thought that surrender, this business is not for me. Baba says that surrender is higher than love and higher than obedience. Well, I've enough on my hands already trying to do my best loving Baba and obeying him and doing my work as a doctor. So surrender, maybe next life, but it's for advanced spiritual seekers, not for me. Plus, the word itself, the word surrender, in its ordinary sense, it was not something I liked. Maybe it may be different for people who grow up in an Indian culture, but for my little Western mind, surrendering means giving up, means admitting defeat against an enemy who is stronger than you. Didn't feel comfortable with that at all. And like so many concepts with Baba, surrendering is both very simple and very complicated. For the mind, it's very complicated. What do you mean surrender? And do I just have to sit back and relax and do nothing? This is not going to work. Or from the heart's view, everything is Baba's, everything happens by his will, so what else to do but surrender? I've come to realize gradually, it took me many years, that surrender actually is an attitude, a practice that we can train ourselves, something we can train ourselves in, and that we have to start with little things. Basically, surrendering is a work in progress. It's not, a big decision that one day you decide you're surrendering to Baba and you get a badge, you get a certificate, and after that, everything is done. No, surrendering is something we have to practice at every moment, and gradually it will lead us to the complete surrender that I know nothing about. But the little things lead to the big things, Being in the company of the Mandali, I had many occasions to witness, in a way, what surrender can mean. I remember one of the early experiences. That was in December 1983. I was at Meherabad, and Erich's mother, who lived in Pune, Gaimai had fallen and had suffered a hip fracture. And she was in Sanchetti Hospital. She had surgery. And, that's almost 40 years ago. It was something quite new, orthopedic surgery in elderly patients. So it was quite a serious situation. And Erich had the habit of starting his day by taking a walk, and I would accompany him. So there we are, walking early in the morning. It's like between 6 and 7 in the morning. And we are on the main road. And we see a motorcycle coming, and we recognize one of the American Baba lovers who is living in the trust compound in Mer Nazar in Nagar. But he doesn't stop. He just keeps going and then turns into the Meherabad approach road. I have to tell you that at that time there was no phone in Meherabad. So whenever there was some urgent news, somebody from the trust compound would get on their motorcycle and come to Meherabad to deliver the news. So somebody coming before 7 in the morning means he's come to deliver some urgent news, and Gaimai is in the hospital. So we turn back and we start walking back, and my mind is all over the place. What has happened to Gaimai? Did she die? Why did that fellow not stop to tell us? The news must be so bad. He didn't want to tell Erich in the middle of the road. But I notice that Erich is still walking at the same pace. He's not breathing any faster than usual. He's totally unruffled, unfazed. I mean, the contrast with me is quite striking. So finally, I asked him, but don't you think he's bringing news about Gaimai? Aren't you worried? And he very calmly replied, I said goodbye to my mother long ago. And I was really awestruck, full of admiration, realizing that he was able to wait for the news and remain totally calm, because he was totally accepting it was all going to be whatever Baba wanted. And to finish the story, the news was that Gaimai had some cardiac complications, but she recovered and she lived almost 10 years more after that. I mean, I have seen the Mandali receive all kind of news and, just not be shaken up like I was. For example, when Bauji was diagnosed with cancer, he was totally calm. Another example is somebody in Meherabad whose wife was sick, and she was not getting any better. And she's in the hospital in Ahmednagar, and then she's moved to hospital in Pune. And finally, we are waiting for a biopsy result. And the husband is remaining the same, behaving the same way, and he's telling jokes. So finally, I just took him aside and I said, "But you don't realize the situation is very serious. We're waiting for the biopsy report, but she has cancer. We're just waiting to know what kind it is." And much to my surprise, this man told me, "I know. I'm very aware of all that." And I was completely shocked to realize that he was aware that bad news were coming, and he was still able to be calm, to keep his faith in Baba and to tell jokes, which is very good for any patient, you know. Laughing is a good medicine. So I've learned gradually over the years to give it to Baba. I remember in the early years, I would say, "But what do you mean, give it to Baba? I don't know what that means." And it took me years to get the idea that it means to let it go. You know, we all have our habits. Baba in 1940 told the women living in Meherabad, "Can you not sacrifice your sweet habit of hurting others?" Because they were always bickering and fighting among themselves. And we all have our sweet habits. We feel we have a right to be upset. We have a right to be in a bad mood because something unfair has happened to us. We have a right to criticize, to judge, to feel sorry for ourselves when something is not fair. And it's really a good start to learn to let all that go, to forget all that, to give it to Baba. And that's the beginning of surrendering. I think I need to stop here. And one thing that helped me a lot also is we surrender. We're not surrendering to an enemy. We're surrendering to the power of that love, which is so great. We have no idea about it. It is unfathomable. We can't understand it, but it is love. It wants our ultimate good. And this love, Baba's love, will sustain us through whatever difficult situation might be coming. He will sustain us in ways, again, that we cannot imagine. And I want to end with a quote from Mani in Tales from the New Life. So she's been talking about the condition of the new life. And she says, "Do you think we could go through what we do and surrender to Him by any merit of our own? It is our effort, yes. But it is not by any merit of our own that we can completely surrender to Baba. No, it is He who helps and sustains. It is Baba's love and compassion which makes it all possible. So I would like to say, surrendering is, for us ordinary people, it's a work in progress. And the more we practice loving Baba, the more we practice calling out his name when we are in trouble, the more natural it will become to surrender, till we have surrendered everything. And then I don't know what happens. So don't worry about surrendering, just practice it. Jai Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। प्रीतम मन मंदिर में पाऊं, प्रीतम मन मंदिर में पाऊं, मन नैनन से निरखूं पल पल, मन
ॐ परब्रह्म परमात्मा Yasdan La ilaha illallah. O God, Father in heaven, Sachidanand Paramanand Meherabad Vigyanand 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 Sachidanand Paramanand Meherabad Vigyanand
Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba,
Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Hari Om Hari. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher
Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Hari Om, Hari Paramatma Allah, Ahur Mast Gaudiya Sada, Hari Paramatma Allah, Ahur Mast Gaudiya Sada, Hari Paramatma
जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, लागी रे मोरे मीने की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोरे मीने की धुन है लागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, लागी रे मोरे मीने की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोरे मीने की धुन है लागी। जिस कारण कई जन्म गवाए, जिस कारण कई जन्म गवाए, माया के बंधन अपनाए, माया के बंधन अपनाए, मधुसूदन अब छूटी बलाए, मधुसूदन अब छूटी बलाए, मेहर की लो लागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की लो लागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की धुन है लागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, मेरे जीवन से दुविधा भागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की धुन है लागी, लागी रे मोरे, मेहर की धुन है
winds of grace are blowing freely.
Will you catch the warm breezes that are blowing abroad, and unfolding your sails, soar with these gentle winds, melting old structures of the ego, and letting these winds of transformation raise you to higher realms of knowing and being. For this is a time of spiritual opportunity.
The winds of grace are blowing freely all the time. All you have to do is raise your sail. Raise your sail. The winds of grace are blowing freely all the time. All you have to do is raise your sail. Raise your sail. Sail away in the arms of His boundless love. Boundless love. Catch the wind, raise your sail above. Sail above. Sail away on the winds of grace. Steer a course that goes straight to the heart of the sun.
Will you pluck the ripened fruit from the branch that is bending so low under its rich cargo that our nostrils are full of its heady fragrance? Will you pluck the ripened fruit and let its sweet juices nourish you? For this is a time of spiritual abundance.
Gentle breeze brings the fragrance of fragrant love, ripened fruit bursting with His love, fragrance of. Pluck the fruit, let it nourish you. Warm breezes swing the laden branch, so full and hanging low. This gentle breeze so full of promise, full of love's perfume. It invites you to move ever closer now, closer now. This is a time of love's abundance. Will you seize the chance? Soaring on these winds, move ever closer now, closer now, to the one.
I pray to beloved Baba that each of you will seize the moment. I pray that each will find the courage to embrace this shining opportunity to move closer, closer to the one.
Gentle breeze, so full of promise, full of love's perfume. It invites you to move ever closer now, closer now. This is a time of love's abundance. Will you seize the chance? Soaring on these winds, move ever closer now, closer now, to the one. Of grace are blowing freely all the time. All you have to do is spread your wings, spread your wings. The winds of grace
of grace, soaring free, disappear in the heart of the sun. This gentle breeze, so full of promise, full of love's perfume, it invites you to move ever closer now, closer now. Sail away into the arms of love, in his loving arms. Sail away into his arms on the winds of grace.
Will you catch the warm breezes that are blowing abroad? For this is a time of spiritual opportunity. Will you pluck the ripened fruit from the branch? For this is a time of spiritual abundance. I pray to beloved Baba that each of you will seize the moment. I pray that each will find the courage to embrace this shining opportunity to move closer, closer. To the one.
कफस की तीलियों से लेके शाखे आशियां तक है मेरी दुनिया यहाँ से है मेरी दुनिया वहाँ तक है हम इतना भी ना समझे अक्ल खोई दिल गवा बैठे कि हुस्नो इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ से है कहाँ तक है
ज़मीं से आसमां तक आसमां से लामकां तक है ज़मीं से आसमां तक आसमां से लामकां तक है ज़मीं से आसमां तक आसमां से लामकां तक है खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है ज़मीं से आसमां तक आसमां से लामकां तक है
खुदा जाने कहाँ से जलवाए जाना कहाँ तक है खुदा जाने कहाँ से जलवाए जाना कहाँ तक है
खुदा जाने कहाँ से जलवाए जाना कहाँ तक है वहीं तक देख सकता है नजर जिसकी जहाँ तक है वहीं तक देख सकता है नजर जिसकी जहाँ तक है वहीं तक देख सकता है नजर जिसकी जहाँ तक है खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है
ख्याले यार ने आते ही गुम कर दिया मुझको ख्याले यार ने आते ही गुम कर दिया मुझको
ख्याले यार ने आते ही गुम कर दिया मुझको यही है इब्तिदा तो इंतहा इसकी कहाँ तक है
यही है इब्तिदा तो इंतहा इसकी कहाँ तक है यही है इब्तिदा तो इंतहा इसकी कहाँ तक है खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है
इधर देखो उधर बिखरे हैं तिनके आशियाने के, मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है।
मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है। मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है। मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है।
मुझे शिकवा नहीं बर्बाद रख बर्बाद रहने दे।
मुझे शिकवा नहीं बर्बाद रख बर्बाद रहने दे।
मगर अल्लाह मेरे दिल में अपनी याद रहने दे।
मगर अल्लाह मेरे दिल में अपनी याद रहने दे।
मेरे नाशाद रहने से अगर तुझको मसरत है,
मेरे नाशाद रहने से अगर तुझको मसरत है,
तो मैं नाशाद ही अच्छा मुझे नाशाद रहने दे।
तो मैं नाशाद ही अच्छा मुझे नाशाद रहने दे।
तेरी शाने तगाफुल पर मेरी बर्बादियां सदके।
तेरी शाने तगाफुल पर मेरी बर्बादियां सदके।
जो बर्बादे तमन्ना हो उसे बर्बाद रहने दे।
जो बर्बादे तमन्ना हो उसे बर्बाद रहने दे। उसे बर्बाद रहने दे। मुझे बर्बाद रहने दे। मुझे बर्बाद रहने दे।
मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है। मेरी बर्बादियों का सिलसिला यार अब कहाँ तक है। खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है।
सितमगर तुझसे उम्मीदें करम होंगी जिन्हें होंगी। सितमगर तुझसे उम्मीदें करम होंगी जिन्हें होंगी।
सितमगर तुझसे उम्मीदें करम होंगी जिन्हें होंगी। हमें तो देखना ये है कि तू जालिम कहाँ तक है।
हमें तो देखना ये है कि तू जालिम कहाँ तक है। हमें तो देखना ये है कि तू जालिम कहाँ तक है। हमें तो देखना ये है कि तू जालिम कहाँ तक है। खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है। खुदा जाने हमारे इश्क की दुनिया कहाँ तक है।
ज़मीं से आसमां तक, आसमां से लामकां तक है।
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। O Parvardigar, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yazdan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Jesus, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Amen. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. जहाँ कल्पना शब्द न पहुँचे ऐसे अपरंपार नेति नेति वेद पुकारे महिमा तोरी अपार दिव्य सनातन परम दया घन दिव्य सनातन परम दया घन सकल निधि के तुम कारण हो, सकल विश्व तारनहारे हो, तुम समार नहीं तुम ही हो, हे सत्य अवतारो मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो। सकल चराचर तुम्हारी माया, माया भी तो तुम्हारी छाया, तुम्हारा अंत न कोई आया, तुम हो अनंत करो मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो। अपने को जब जो नहीं जाने, महिमा तुम्हारी क्या पहचाने, जो कुछ भी कहते अनजाने, गुण गाते तुम्हारो मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो। सीमा नाही तुम्हारी कृपा को, क्या कोई दे सकता प्रभु तुमको, भीख तुम्ही दो प्रेमी जनों को, नित्य तुम्हें सुमरो मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो। दिव्य सनातन परम दयाघन, दिव्य सनातन परम दयाघन, हे जगत उद्धारो मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेरे मन आरती स्वीकारो। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। प्रेम दीप में ये जलाओ, प्रेम दीप में ये जलाओ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिट पाओ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिट पाओ। अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाओ, अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाओ, तुम मुझको सरसाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी। हे करुणाकर लीलाधारी, हे करुणाकर लीलाधारी, तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। छा जाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय थैंक यू बाबा जय
बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान मेहर बाबा भगवान